G'day, this is Captainoob. Hopefully everyone out there has had a good Christmas and a happy new year, but the holiday season is now over, so it's back to business. We're back in Fallout 76. I've got my GT63 Titan because my Stealth, my new computer, has cooling problems. So we're using the old thing here and the frame rate seems to be suffering. This thing is definitely not as spry as she once was, but regardless of that, we've got a Bloodied explosive VATS enhanced railway rifle here. A lot of people have been telling me how good this thing is post damage nerf and one wasteland patch, so we'll be the judge of that. We've got to consider a lot more things other than damage per shot, which is a lot of things that people are drawn to. Like if this damage number is high, that means it's the best weapon in the world. But we know, and hopefully you know, that there's more to weapons than just the damage per shot stat. So what we've got here is an automatic version because the fire rate goes from basically nothing, something like a hunting rifle fire rate, to 75, which is the standard sort of ballistic fire rate when it comes to this game, which means our DPS is going to be a lot higher despite getting a small penalty to damage per shot there. We've also got a long barrel and some recoil compensating stocks. Let's go ahead and apply some of these perks. And I've been playing Cyberpunk, so all of my buttons, I don't know what I'm doing. I've got the Cyberpunk sort of, I guess, muscle memory still installed on my noggin, so we'll have to find these commando perks here because it's an automatic weapon. And we're going to go ahead and utilize Demolition Expert, and I've dropped Bloody Mess for Ricochet and Serendipity. We're still going to be utilizing VATS a little bit, so better criticals is still there, and so is critical savvy. We've also got a couple of defense perks because you're not going to be able to sneak with this thing since it's unsuppressed. So Action Girl, and we've got Gun Fu there and Dodgy. So provided we can get the first hit on these guys and not take any unnecessary damage, you'll have a full bar of AP ready to utilize for shooting in VATS. Or if I don't have any of that, hopefully the damage of this thing with all of the perks and Bloodied will get it over the line. But, you know, we still need to get Bloodied yet, and we're doing 188 now. Okay, so now the radiation bar has less than 20% health on it, and you'll see when I use this thing, or when I inspect it, I've got 376 damage. Also, I've got a spare one of these. I think this might have dropped randomly from somewhere, but if you want this, the challenge is to amuse me in the comments. The most amusing comment wins. Alright? That's the challenge. Also, this gold dress, I've been waiting for like a whole damn year to get this, and finally it's here. Thanks, Bethesda. Okay, so here we are outside of the MSI repair shop, looking pretty good in the daylight. Made sure it was daylight so we could see all the sequins gleaming off the dress. It's actually not that different to what it would be in the night, but yeah, going over the legendary perks just quickly here. There's these. I've got follow through, and I should mention there's been a late change to the lineup here. We've dropped Dodgy for evasive because I'm going to be using the AP for shooting and offense. Remember what the Skyrim guards used to say: the best defense is the best offense is a good defense, something like that. And I totally just two-fanged that. It kind of worked, but it seems every trigger pull I'm firing 2 bullets in VATS, which is nice because my build is set up to get criticals every second shot, which is nice. That guy's got an... Wait, no, that's totally an automatic rifle. And that is why I wanted to be utilizing VATS all the time, because I can use Gun Fu, because using this thing without VATS is quite stupid, really. You can't control the recoil, it's just too much. Or I could attempt to, but I'm not going to be able to get the necessary hits on target to actually kill the thing because, well, it's so inconsistent, and I'm hitting for much stronger damage using the VATS criticals anyway, so why turn down easy damage in an easier playstyle when I'm built for it, right? Anyways, putting all of that aside, let's go ahead and snap them like that. You'll find that you can still use these in like a semi-auto type fashion and just letting the gun and the recoil reset itself, and you'll fire it a lot faster than you will ever be able to fire a semi-auto variant of a railway rifle, which I think is important to know, because if you want to fire this, if you want to use this thing semi-auto, well, you may as well chuck on the commando perks and just fire a little bit slower, because that extra, I don't know how many shots you get more per second is it does mean quite a lot. And there's an opportunity where I should have used VATS, but I didn't because I thought I could take him. But apparently I can't one-shot that guy. If I had have got Bloody Mess, then probably would have gotten away with that. Alright, we're back for round 2. Where is this bastard? There we go. That's better. And now I just lost health for some reason. Thanks, game. Well, to tell you the truth, I'm already forming my opinion on this, and I'm leaning towards the overrated side, because you know what's better than this? A fixer. You know why? Better ammo capacity. You can suppress the fixer. And I'm not even talking about a legendary variant. I'd actually be happier using a regular old fixer over this, which I think says something, and there goes me again. Alright, time to use VATS only. Not even going to worry about Nerd Rage, I'm just going to send it now because I am over this thing. I think this is one of the most overrated weapons in the game right now. Matter of opinion, but my opinion is indeed the correct one. Still, we'll keep on going. You're too close, so I have to step back. Oh, actually, hang on a second. I've got dense chest piece, don't I? Yes, okay, so I'm free to just blast away at anything that's close to me, which is some nice survivability. Let me just maybe get a stim pack going. Probably should. Knowing this thing. Oh god, this game, it just controls like shit. So I've been playing Cyberpunk too much, and I've been spoiled because that game, it doesn't feel like I'm moving around a Mack truck when I hold down the directional keys. It just feels so much better. It might be something to do with frame rate too. The old Titan. She's chugging along here. She ain't what she used to be, that's for sure. Anyways, so we're chopping through these guys easily enough. I mean, you can get a respectable time to kill, and amount of time to kill a room is very, very small, especially with the necessary gun-through perks and everything, but still, I'd prefer a fixer. I've got a very, if you ain't first, you're last mentality, and this thing certainly ain't good. Take a handmade over this. And you know what? They're easy to receive these days. No one bothers to dupe these things because they're garbage. At least, what's it called? The Ricochet perk is doing something for me now. I think that was a fairly good pick, even though Bloody Mess at some points would have been a lot easier for me to, you know, kill the dogs in one shot, but... Alright, I think we're done now. Let's move on. Okay, with 10 rounds going as fast as I can clip my fingers, I'm not going to stand much of a chance trapped inside here with all of these ghouls. To that end, let's go ahead and aggro everything and see if we can't get them all out to the tennis court dance floor and just blow them away like that. Well, I've certainly angered the Wendigo, so that's good. And what we'll do is we'll try to just shoot them through here. Maybe. Well, that ain't gonna work, is it? No, we'll just VATS it like usual. That guy's taken a wrong turn. I think he turned back. There we go. And now we wait. Quick hands could be a possible good pick for here. And can I actually fire this? Okay, basically if you aim down sights, you two-fang this. Which I guess is good for DPS, but it's no good for recoil control. Good old gun-through perk doing me good here. I mean, with the amount of kills I can get per magazine, you could make the argument that, sure, it can be good in crowd control, but this is a very controlled situation. Emphasis on the control part of this, and I don't think that was all of them, because I didn't see no Wendigo, so I guess we'll try to catch up with the rest inside and see how we go. There's one. Let's just open up in VATS. Oh, that's not good. Let's just make use of my dense chest piece there, get a quick stagger on whatever ghoul was behind me. There we go. At point blank range, you won't have to worry about the recoil that much. The hip fire on this thing is okay. If you don't want to use VATS, and you can totally get away without using concentrated fire, because why would you want to target the heads anyway? I think that the ground pounder perk is a great pick for this, because you get a faster reload speed, which helps bolster its magazine capacity and everything. So, VATS goes off, ground pounder it is, which means the fastest reload possible for this. That's already being boosted by a little bit from Speed Demon anyway, so that's good. But I'm noticing whenever I try to push and be aggressive with this weapon, the game's like, no bro, your gun's not good enough. So I can't be aggressive with this. And what's the point of a weapon if you can't be aggressive with it? And if you can't be sneaky with it? I mean, you could get in power armor, but that's boring, isn't it? And if you want to use the unyielding bonuses to get yourself extra XP through all of that, well, you're out of luck then. So this weapon doesn't have great versatility. Okay, what have we learnt so far? I think the bottom line is, if you want to use this thing, you have to be very conservative in your gameplay. You can't rush things, and if that's your playstyle, then this is not the weapon for you. It certainly isn't my playstyle, because I prefer to kill stuff fast and not have to worry about messing about trying to, plan out my attacks. I just send it, and this is definitely not the weapon for it. There you go, there goes that one. There's multiple instances where I'm like a hair's dick away from trying to kill these guys. I've only got a bee's dick of health left, and I have to give them that extra shot, so potentially you might want to chuck on something like Bloody Mess rather than Ricochet for me, because, well, that little bit of additive damage might get you over the line. Anyways, there's Swan. He is ready to go, actually. Can't argue with that time to kill, that's for sure. Okay, so we come to the segment with the many crabs to be dealt with, so we'll try to deal with these guys as fast as possible. Priority target's going to be the King Mireworks. There's one. There we go. That'll do him in. Still sneaking. It's still working. I've got all of this unyielding gear to bolster my sneak chance, so that's helpful. Got a Gatling plasma or something around here. He goes down. We've got a piece of crap legendary. Of course, a 1-star jumping from a 3-star enemy. We can accept that. We've gotten with the program. There's like a moonwalking Mirelurk King. Sorry, Michael Jackson, you're dead again. And one order for a Mirelurk Queen. Not going as well. Possibly hitting her out of shell. But that's okay. We can finish her off with that second burst. So that's certainly working well. But what isn't working well is this thing's condition. Might want to have to tune that up a little bit before we move on to our final section. I'm not sure if explosive railway rifles can be considered nice wall hacks legacy yet, because having them as explosive changes their projectile to something that is not hit scan to something that is hit scan and actually does work with concentrated fire. So yes, very interesting if Bethesda ends up making these. I'm a little bit out of the loop. If they are a legacy, then I guess that means that that spare 2-star one that I had is pretty valuable, right? So there's a Scorch Beast. We all know the thing about Scorch Beasts and explosive damage. This thing zeroing on VATS doesn't seem to have too much of a problem with that. We might have a problem with running out of bullets for it in a minute. We'll do the best as we can. Another good pick is Quick Hands for this, because you're going to be running the mag dry all the time. So if you wanted potentially a 1 in 6 chance to gain all of your magazine back, you could have a decent go with that, I suppose. The problem is that I've got all of these VAT-centric perks, and I probably would have given them a go if my build wasn't working so well already. They're attacking me with explosive grenade launchers. That's not going to work, pal. Keep on going. Good old high perception means that I'm able to, hit a target pretty reliably even when it's back there. Although a Scorched Beast are hard to miss. At least with standard weaponry, this thing's recoil would throw you off instantly. But luckily, VATS is an ultimate recoil compensator. Isn't that great? And if I'm nailing a crit every other shot, getting those 16% chance shots is somewhat of a reality sometimes. I don't think we'll pull that second one out. So, conclusion time. Well, it certainly did better in the second half there. As soon as we killed Swan, this thing sort of found its groove. And that is because I wasn't being swarmed at that point. It was a lot more manageable for me to one by one kill all of the Scorch, kill all of the crabs, and then focus fire on the big target, and then obviously you saw it again with the Scorch Beast, so I kind of left them to last, and then the minions cleaned out afterwards. Where this thing failed me was when I was being swarmed and overran, when I was in close quarters and, you know, couldn't get the shots out. So without that stealth edge to it, I don't think this weapon is as good as a lot of people say. Sure, the damage is impressive, and it gets a half-decent time to kill on some of these other creatures, but there's no survivability here. I know that death doesn't mean a lot, but if you're not in for the 30-second inconveniences that you pick up with every death, then I don't think this is a good pick or the best pick in class. If you want a decent rifleman option, I suggest using a semi-automatic handmade. Semi-automatic fixer does alright. In some cases, a lever action can be okay, but their ammo capacity is trash as well, and its rate of fire leaves something to be desired, and the reload speed is not great because you have to reload it one by one. Wouldn't take a hunting rifle over this, so this thing is a lot faster, but I don't think this is best in class. It's just kind of there. It's almost hitting on the gimmicky side of weaponry in this game. I just don't think it's as good as people say that it is, because, well, there are weapons like... I mean, hell, I'd take this thing over it, a pipe gun, because it's got a shush tube and it'll synergize even better to my build, and probably don't have to worry about it breaking apart every 20 or so minutes of gameplay. But yeah, there you go. BE Railway Rifle does alright, not the best, not as good as everyone thinks it is. That's my conclusion. Thank you very much for watching, guys.